we're live. Hey guys, as you pop on, would love to hear from you. I'm so excited tonight to have Scharlie here with her consultant Paige, and they are gonna share with us their tips and tricks. So I want to share with you guys as you're hopping on how this kind of all came to be. Scharlie was over at my house, it was about a month ago. We had a color happy hour at my house on a Friday night, and we just got to talking, and I thought, Scharlie, how would you like to do makeup tips for our unit? Hey, Jeannie Clark. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I really think I want to send out eyeshadow samples and lip samples to the entire unit, and then just have a live event where you show them some tricks and tips. So here we are. It's finally time, and we're so excited that you're here joining us tonight. So as you pop on, say hi. We would love to hear from you. And she's going to be sharing, right, Scharlie? You're going to be sharing some of the new products with us that just came out. You guys have your pumpkin spice latte look ready to go. So here's the deal. If you want to play along and try new eye looks tonight, great. This is also going to be here later if you want to do it tomorrow, because I know it's like bedtime wherever you are. That's perfectly fine too. So whatever you want to do, we cannot see you. You can do whatever you want to do with us tonight. Hey, Jennifer McAlexander. So fun to see everybody. Okay, so without further ado, am going to turn it over to our maestro, Scharlie and Paige. So hang on. There you are.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Scharlie, if you haven't met me or seen me before. And this is one of my consultants and also a dear friend of mine, coworker. We kind of spend our days together, Paige. So she's here to help me tonight to demo. But as you can probably see so far, she's got one eye done. And we're going to do the other eye tonight. I'm going to talk about some contouring with our new contouring sticks, which are so exciting. We've got some new lips that I'm going to show you that I have on tonight. And then, yeah, just have some fun, give you guys some tips, ideas on how to freshen your fall look. Okay? All right, so we're going to get started. As you can see, she's already got her foundation on. So we've already kind of prepped her. She's got the foundation primer on. Then we use the light to medium CC cream all over. And then before we did the CC cream, let me mention this really quickly, I used our new sticks, our new, what do we want to call them? Color correcting sticks. Thank you. See, this is what happens when I go live. My mind goes blank. So we have the brightener. This is just kind of freshen things up, make you look a little bit fresher in the morning. And then the green is to get rid of that redness and red correcting that we sometimes have in our skin. And so with Paige, what I did before we put the CC cream on is I just did a little bit under her eyes with the purple. And so I just kind of lightly dabbed it on, kind of like this. And then I took our foundation brush that I have here, and I just kind of rubbed it in. I just kind of patted it in. You don't want to scrub because that's not good around the eye area, ladies. So I just kind of blended it in, and it gives you just kind of that fresher pop look, especially in the mornings when we're tired and we need some help. So I did that, and then we did it under both eyes. And then I also did our under eye corrector, because if you're like me, you have these really deep blue spots on the inside of your eyes. And so what I love about this is I will put this on, and I'll just add it to the corner of the eye and kind of sweep it down a little bit. And it just does that correcting. It gives you more of a pop look to your eyes, gets rid of that kind of dull, heavy under eye bag look that we sometimes wake up with when we're tired and exhausted. So, and then with the red out stick, this one's really cool. I can use it. I use it around my lips, actually. And I learned this on a YouTube video that I watched with some other consultants around the world, actually. And my lips have no definition. So I have to always line my lips, and they're very red. They're very bright. So sometimes I have a hard time with different lipsticks, but I always have to put foundation on my lips. And so what I do with this one is I put it around my lips just to give me more of that definition, blend in some of that redness that I have, and it gives me more of a defined look to my lips. But you can also use it if you've got spots around that are red. My stepdaughter, she has some red spots from the skin and she's super pale, so she uses it just to kind of blend that in before she puts her foundation on. So these are so fun. I love them. They are great additions that we just came out with, and I'm super excited about them. So then we did the CC cream all over. We just blended that in again with our foundation brush. And then we got started, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is we did her eye, okay? And so the eye colors that we're using today are going to be Biscotti, Candlelight, Shiny Penny, my favorite, and then also burnished bronze. So those are the 4 colors that we're using today, and I have our palette here, and these are the colors down here in the corner. I just pulled them out of the palette that I have. And so this one is going to be Biscotti. Then you've got Candlelight, Shiny Penny, and then brushed bronze right here. And they're so pretty. Hashtag so pretty, Christy. So we're gonna get started. And I've got our brushes here that we're gonna be using. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take our all over eyeshadow brush that we have here. Love this brush, it's so fun. And so I'm gonna load it up with the Biscotti, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go all over the eye. I like to do this just to kind of give it a primer, just fill in that eye, it's easier to work with. You're just kind of got an overall base color that you can use. You don't have to do this, ladies. If you wanna use the lighter color just on top, under your brow, you can do that too. But I like to just kind of fill it in. Then next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean our blending brush, our all over brush, because we're gonna switch to another color. So then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Candlelight, and I'm gonna kind of load my brush up with Candlelight. And I'm gonna focus on the bottom part of the eyelid, okay? You're gonna stay below that brow bone, which is right here. So find that brow bone and then just fill it in as much as you like. You can do little, you can go a lot. It's personal preference. I like to do bolder, brighter, darker, but that's just me. But I dare you, I suggest that you try it because it's so fun. Color is so fun. And it's not, you gotta be bold. Life's too short. Okay, so once I'm satisfied with that, with what we have, then I'm gonna move to our Shiny Penny. And once again, I'm not gonna load my brush up as much with Shiny Penny just because we are only gonna stick with kind of the corner in the bottom half of the lid. We're not gonna go all over like we did with Candlelight. So I'm just gonna kind of fill it in right here in the corner. And Shiny Penny is such a pretty color. I just love it. It's bright. It scared me at first. When I first came across Shiny Penny a couple years ago, it scared me. I was like, whoa, there's no way I can wear that. But man, I have found so many different ways to wear this eyeshadow, and it's so fun. I even wear it with Merlot. It's so pretty. There you go, Christy. Hashtag so pretty. Okay. So once I'm satisfied with that, now we're gonna move to our burnished bronze. And this is gonna be our darker, bolder color, the one that we use in the corners of our eyes to give our eyes more of that pop. And as you can see over here, you wanna come a little, there we go. As you can see, we've already done it up here, and it's just kind of that defining darker color that's gonna give your eye more of that pop. But the trick that I wanna show you to get that color to really pop is using our eye primer. Okay, I love this stuff. The eye primer, you can use it just as a primer on your overall lid. So basically, you just take a little bit on your ring finger and you just dab it all over your entire eyelid, okay? And then you can start the process. And what this is gonna do, I love it because I have really oily skin, I have really oily eyelids, and what I was finding was that by the end of the day, my eyeshadow was either kind of clumping, or it was creasing, or it was rubbing off. It was a disaster. And so I started using eye primer, and that helped. It helped keep my eyeshadow long lasting and throughout the day. So the other little trick that I have found with this over the years is not only does it help with staying power, but also helps with boldness. And so if you want your eyeshadow to be darker and bolder and brighter, here's the trick that I'm gonna show you. So you're gonna take your contouring brush right here that we have, or the eye crease brush that we have. Sorry, I'm not used to this camera. And the angled one. And then you're gonna take your eye primer, and what I do is I take a little tiny bit of the primer and I just put it right here on the brush. Just a tiny, tiny bit, okay? You don't need a lot. This lot goes a long way. Little goes a long way, okay? So we have a little bit on our brush. You can see it, okay? And now I'm gonna put this where I want the color to go. And so I'm gonna put this right here in the corner because this is where I want that burnished bronze color to go, and I want it to really, really pop. Now the cool thing is you still have a little bit of that eye primer in your brush. So what you're gonna wanna do is load up your brush with that color, okay? Just load it up. And then before the primer dries, fill that spot in. And you can see how much darker that shadow goes on with the primer when it's still wet versus if you just do it without. And I can show you on my hand here in a second what it looks like without the primer, okay? And if you're not happy, if you want it darker, obviously, you can go back and add more of your eye primer to your brush and just keep building. So let's put a little bit more on here, okay? And you're just gonna kind of tap it. You don't wanna rub it in, you wanna leave it wet, okay? And then again, you're gonna load up your brush with that color and you're gonna fill it in. And just with a light tapping motion, that's all you're gonna do is just lightly tap, okay? And blend that in. And what I'm doing with Paige is I'm doing a V, just with the shape of her eyes. The V looks really pretty. It just makes her eye pop once it's all said and done, okay? And so you can see we did the V and we're kind of building it in there, okay? And we've got it kind of to the color and consistency that we want it. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back to my shiny penny just because we wanna start blending these colors in. You don't ever want defined lines with your eyeshadow, ladies. You want it to blend, but you wanna see the difference in colors, kind of like how my eyes are. So you can see I've got my crystalline on the top, I've got a little bit of my crystalline down here in the corner, but then I'm actually wearing burnished bronze. And I blended it in with the candlelight. And so I don't have a defined line, but you can still see the difference in the colors. And that's what you want to focus on. That's super, super important to do that. I'm going to come towards me a little bit. Okay. So I'm going back to the shiny penny and I'm just filling in that corner of the eye again. Okay. Remember, clean out your brush. And then I'm going to go back to the candlelight. And I'm just going to kind of blend those in. And add a little bit more. Okay. Pretty. Then we're going to finish it off with, I'm going to take the biscotti. And again, I'm going to go back to my biscotti, what I started with, and now I'm going to fill in right underneath the brow. And the biscotti, the lighter color helps you blend in that shadow even more. So you don't have those really defined lines with your eyeshadow. You want to look at me so I can see what I'm doing? Okay. And I'm sorry if the lighting is not great in here. I'm doing the best that I can. I need to get a ring light. That's my next investment. So orders, please, because that's what I need. Let's see, do a little bit more. And voila. So you can see, if you want to kind of step in front of it and then show them both, just, yep, now close. Kind of lift your head up a little bit. There you go. So we still have some lines here, so we're going to fill those in. I'm not doing the best job. Okay, so now you can see we've kind of blended that in, and you can really see it over on this eye too that we did earlier. This eye right here. You can see where it's really pretty and it's really blended in, and we were just able to spend a little bit more time on it. But there again, just continue to build. And you always want to start out with a little and build. Don't start with a lot because it's so much, you just can't take that away. So I always tell everybody it's easier to start with a little and build from that to get where you want. And it may take a couple of coats. It may take, one try and you get it perfect, or you just may need to keep going over and over and over it until you're happy with where you're at. Okay. So now that we've done her eyeshadow, okay, the next step is we're going to move on to the eyeliner. And in Mary Kay, we have so many different eyeliners that I love. My favorite, however, is our gel eyeliner. It comes in this cute little pod, which I love. This is the black that we have, and I love it. This lasts probably, this jar will last me a year, if not longer. You want to keep it sealed tight, ladies, because if you don't, it'll dry out. And then what I use, the brush that I use is our eyebrow brush. This is a very multi-purpose brush because I do use this part on my brows, but I use this flat, really pointed edged brush to use with that gel liner. But with the gel liner, they do come with little brushes too, which work great. I just really like the definition of this one because it's much flatter and thinner, and it's got more of a thicker consistency, so it doesn't move around as you're drawing your line. So I just very lightly dip it into the jar just to get a little tiny bit, and sometimes I'll even wipe it off on the side because I just want to work with the one edge that has color on it. I don't need it on the top of my brush as I'm filling in. So what I'm going to do is you start with the corner, the tip side on the inside of the eye, okay? And you don't ever want to pull your eyelids. Don't pull your eyelids. That causes wrinkles. We don't want that, okay? And I'm just going to start right above the eyelashes, okay? And I'm just doing sweeps, starting from the corner and building it out, okay? You want to start thinner on the inside. You don't want this to be you don't want the inside of your eye right here to be super, super thick. You want it to be thin and then build it out to be thicker, okay? So then I'm going to get a little bit more on my brush, okay? And again, a little goes a long way, and start with a little and build. And so then I'm going to start working out to the eye. And what I always suggest is that when you're working to do a wing, like I have a wing today, is you follow kind of the curve, the natural curve of your eye. So like right here, okay? You don't want to go straight out because that's not going to look right. And then you don't want to go straight down. So I always just say, follow the natural curve of your eye, and you're just going to pull that same line up. Okay. You don't have to wing it if you don't want to. You can leave it. You can stop at the corner of your eyebrow or of your eyelid. That's perfectly fine. It's whatever you're comfortable with and what you prefer. The wing to me is fun. I love it. And we're going kind of for a bolder look. So that's what we're doing tonight. Okay. And so as you can see, I need more on my brush. So I'm just going to go back to my little pod, fill my brush back up again. And I'm going to continue to make that wing. Okay. And obviously the wing you want to end at a really super sharp point this way. So as you can see, we've ended it with a kind of a sharp point, and I can tell I need to fix a little bit of it right there. So you're going to go from kind of a thicker, again, you're going to go from a thicker line to a thinner line to get that really pretty point. Okay. Voila. Look how easy that was. You want to open? Okay, let me see. Let me fix the inside. Actually, we did a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We did.
So now she's got her eyeliner, and she's just got that really pretty defined line. Once again, that's just making her eyes really pop, which is super pretty. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of eyeshadow liner under the eye, just once again to give it some more poppiness to it's going to help your eyes pop. It's pretty, and it's just going to add some more color. But once again, like I said, you don't have to do it. With mine, what I do is I start out really dark and I work my way in, and I make the line down here thicker. And as I come into the inside of my eye, I make it thinner. Okay, and I use our crease brush to do that. And the color that I always use on the bottom of my eye is the darkest color that I've used on my eye, if that makes sense. Okay, so in this case, burnished bronze is the darkest color that we used. So I'm going to put a little bit on our brush, our angle brush, our corner brush, our crease brush. Thank you. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. And I'm going to start from the outside, and I'm going to work my way in just right underneath the brow, right the eyebrow or the eyelashes. Sorry, I'm really off tonight. This happens. This is what happens when I go live. I get nervous. Okay. And then what I love to do is to give it some more fun and poppiness is I take the shiny penny, and I put a little bit on that too, on the crease brush.
For a second. Okay. I just felt kind of dizzy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if it's just the.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So what I do is I will take my brush and I will work it in here. Just kind of work it in here. And it just gives it a fun little bit more color. And it just gives it some color, some shininess, some fun, some sparkle. So I just kind of will build that in right here. And voila. See, and it's pretty. It just gives you a little bit more color to your face, a little bit more sparkle and shininess. Okay? Voila. So once we're done with our eyeliner, we're going to do our lashes. Okay, and the mascara that I have here tonight and what I'm wearing today and my favorite is our Lash Intensity mascara, and I love this mascara. It's been a game changer for me. And what I love about it is the brush. Okay, it's this really thick brush that has long bristles, short bristles, and what it does is as you put it on, it grabs every single lash that you have. Okay, and so it's going to grab all those little lashes, it's going to grab all those big lashes, and it's really going to just fill in that eyelash and give you that really pretty look. And the other thing about the Lash Intensity is it lengthens your lashes, and it also makes them thicker. And so because it's grabbing all those little lashes in there, and so it gives you kind of more of a length and volume to your eyebrow or to your eyelashes. And then I just do a little bit on the bottom just to kind of fill that in and build that up. Okay. So, and the cool thing about this is I love it is I don't know what it is, but I don't have to use a eyelash curler with this. It just automatically curls my lashes. So it's so cool. I love it. So fun. And it's super pretty. So we have our eyes done. And now we need to move on to, we're going to do some contouring. Okay. Contouring I love. And sometimes makes people a little nervous. So it takes practice. So I suggest don't, just try to practice as much as you can. But in the end, you're going to love it. And it's super easy to do. And with these new contouring sticks that we have, so much easier because they glide on so easily. They blend super easily. And they're fun. I was so excited when these came out. So what I'm going to show you is, I'm going to bring Paige back over here.
Just had a moment.
She got a little warm. It's a little warm in here. So she just needed to sit down for just a second. I apologize. But the cool thing is we have two colors, okay? And I have used both of these colors on my face. So, and yeah, people are probably thinking, holy cow, look how dark that is. Like it is, it's super dark, but it's amazing. I love it. And this one is the Get Sculpted 2. That's kind of a fun name, Get Sculpted 2. So I'll show you where we're going to use this one. And then the lighter one is the Get Sculpted 1. This is the lighter tone. This is the one where I'm going to show you where you're going to use it kind of where it's more visible, but to give you a little bit more definition. And so this is really fun. So I'm going to show you how to use these, okay? I use these after my foundation. I don't use them before. I use them after I've put my foundation on, but before I do my blush, okay? So what I do is I take the Get Sculpted 1, the lighter color of the contouring, and we're gonna go, this is what we need to give ourselves some kind of definition here. I don't have cheekbones. I have a very long, narrow face. So here I use this one. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of start at the natural flow of your cheekbone. So feel around and there it is. And so I'm just gonna kind of draw a line, okay, right there, okay? The other place we can use this to give us some definition is on our nose. So we can really define and make that our nose pop out. And so on this one, you're gonna start at the eye, at your eyebrow, and you're gonna do a little line right here, okay? Can you see that? Okay. Then you're gonna follow kind of the outside curve of your nose. Okay, so you're gonna come down like this. Kind of messed up a little bit. That's okay, it's fixable. Okay, you wanna look at me?
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm gonna round out the bottom of her nose right here, okay? And then you're gonna go back up. Like that. Okay, can you show everybody? See? So that's what you're gonna want when you're using this one. So then what I do is I go back to my foundation blending brush and I start blending it in. And this, you just kind of want to lightly tap it. Lightly tap. Blend that in because you don't want to see the lines. But it's still going to give you that illusion, or what is it? Illusion? Illusion, right? Am I using the right word? Because it's going to add that color. So if you can tell, I need to blend it a little bit more. Okay, get that blended in like that. Okay. All right, now show them your nose. So super pretty. It just gives you kind of, and I have it on, it kind of just gives you more of that defined look and contour, and just helps give your face more of kind of a boldness and defining the areas that you really want to define. And some people are like, I don't want to define my nose. Well, okay, I do, because I have a kind of just like a nose. And so I want it to kind of pop out, give it my face a little bit more pizzazz. So I always do my nose. You don't have to. And that's just personal preference. Then for your cheek, what you want to do is the same thing. You just want to kind of blend that in, but you still want to see the color. You don't want to blend it so that it's gone, but you want to just kind of stick with that area and just kind of blend that in like that. And you're going to see here in a second when we put on blush, how that's going to disappear. And then I want to show you now with the Get Sculpted 2, the darker one, where we want to use this. This one I use way down here, okay, at my jawline, because it's more hidden, it's darker, it's more shadowed. And so this is going to just, you want a darker color here to give it pop and have it show up. I'm not going to use it here on my face because my skin tone is way too light. So then just going to add a little tiny bit. And the darker one takes a little bit more time to blend it, just because it's darker and Paige and I have a lighter skin tone. We're just going to blend that in like so. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just not feeling well again.
Oh no. Okay. It's really warm in here. I think I'm gonna have my husband bring us a fan. So let me get that really quick. Okay. Sorry, we digress. We're back. So once we've filled in that line, it's just going to give you more of that definition down here and just kind of help pop and give your face a little bit more definition. So super fun, super easy to use. The other area that you can use these is along your hairline. And so what they recommend is like this, okay? And then blend that into, and once again, it just gives your skin and your face a little bit more definition. And you always want to blend it in as best you can. And voila. So it just gives my forehead a more defined look from my hairline and just kind of pulls that out a little bit more, if you can tell. Okay. So these are so fun. I love them. Super excited. If you need, there's some great YouTube videos that you can find by other Mary Kay consultants that really just walk you through the process on how to contour. And that's where I learned, that's where I went when these came out is, okay, Scharlie, how do you use these? Well, I went to YouTube and I looked at the Mary Kay consultants around the world that are using them. And I learned some really great tricks for those. Okay. So then now that we've done our contouring, we want to finish up with our blush. And what I've got on today, I have Rosy Nude on. And so you're going to take the overall cheek brush, and this one's really fun because it's got that angled brush look to it. And then it's got the part where you actually can apply, but it's fun because you can really get that dark defined look with that angle. And so I just go to the blush, just fill up your brush. And some women prefer to start from the outside and work in. It's personal preference. I find it easier to just kind of work my way up and kind of tap it in. But you can also sweep and sweep up, and just get that blended in. And you want to blend that in with your contour. Okay? See how pretty that is, and you get that defined look. So you can see that right there, that defined, and it just helps my brow bones pop out a little bit more. So super pretty, super fun. Love it. Okay. And again, with blush, a little goes a long way. Start out light, work your way up to the color that you want and the consistency that you want. Okay. So lastly, the trick that I want to show you, and I have it on, but these are our new matte liquid lipsticks. So fun, long lasting, all day long. They don't come off. Okay, you can see nothing's coming off. Okay, you won't end up with those lipstick stains or rings on your cups. You can kiss your husband and kids goodbye and not leave those lipstick marks on their faces. So these are super fun and I love them, and they're moisturizing. They don't dry out your lips like some of the matte long-lasting colors that are out there do. The fun thing about these two colors that I'm going to show you is the first one is Berry Strong, and it's a really pretty kind of berry color, if you can see that. It's really dark and it's super pretty. And then the other one that I have, and they come together, they come as a duo, is the Red Alert. And this one's really pretty too. It's kind of more of a reddish tone. I've got what we call an ombre look on the lips. Yes, you can do ombre on your lips, believe it or not. And how to get that look is you start out with the darker color. So that's going to be the berry, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to line the outside of your lips with this berry color. Don't go in. Stay on the outside out of your lips. Just kind of line your lips with the darker color. And you want to kind of clean the brush off before you do this. You want to really wipe it clean and get a lot of that excess off, because especially if you're doing the ombre, because you want to just start out dark and then kind of fill it in a little bit, but don't go all the way into your lip, because then you're going to have the darker color and it's really hard to get that ombre look. Then the next step that you're going to do is you're going to take that Red Alert that comes with it, okay? And with this one, you're just going to build on the inside, and you're just going to kind of blend it in with that berry color. And then you get that ombre look. And it's really pretty. It's fun. It's different. And it's the new thing that's kind of starting, the new trend that's starting out. You can do it with all sorts of different colors. But in order to get that ombre look, you always want to start with the darker color on the outside and use the lighter color towards the inside. And that's going to give you that look. It's also going to give you kind of more of a pouty look to your lips. More definition, and it's a really pretty fun look that we have. And so I have it on tonight on mine. And as you can see, I have the berry on the outside and then just the Red Alert towards the inside. So we're kind of finished up. We've kind of done everything that we need to do. So the last thing that I always recommend is just finishing up with our overall finishing powder. It's white. I know some people are always like, holy cow, that's super white. But when it goes on, you don't see it. It's translucent. It's super pretty. It's fun. And so I always take it and I put a little bit into the lid right here. And this is as much as I'm going to use for my face. And then I'm going to take our overall powder brush and just kind of rub it in there. Okay. And then I'm just going to go around my face and I'm just going to kind of blend everything in. Okay. And it's just going to kind of set everything. Okay. And it's really pretty easy to use, lightweight, and it just gives you that kind of finishing look when you're done. Okay. So I think that's it. I think that's everything that I've covered. It was super quick. It's easy. If I can do it, you can do it. It just takes practice. So, when you come home at night, try it, practice, play on the weekends. You can't make a mistake. If you do, just take it off with the eye makeup remover or our products and then start over again. It's as simple as that. But play, try it, have fun. Reach out to your consultants if you have questions. And yeah, so I'm going to turn it back over to you, Stacy. We can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Thank you, Scharlie. That was so awesome. And Paige, you were such a trooper. Thank you for hanging in there, girl. That was awesome. So, you know, one of the other things that we've been talking about is maybe just having a color event for guests, maybe on the Unstoppable Beauty page once a month. Would love to get your feedback on that. But it was so fun reading your comments. You know, I think the biggest takeaway I had, Scharlie, was start with less. Less is more. And you can always build on that.
Right?
I'm like, go big or go home. But I always with that mess. So I love Cindy and Jennifer talking about who's the messiest with their eyeliner. Maybe especially gel eyeliner. So thank you for taking the time.
It is easy.
You made
the
it
gel,
look
especially
so
with the
easy,
gel.
girl.
I actually find the gel easier than the liquid, just because it's a little bit thicker and it glides. I don't know. I just find that one easier to work with, especially starting off with eyeliner when you're playing with it and learning. But yeah, I love it. It's so fun and it's easy. All of this is so easy.
That is great. Well, we're going to have you come back and teach some of us some more tips and tricks. We really appreciate that. I'm going to wrap up tonight, but just saying, hey, you guys, if you haven't had a chance to join the Unstoppable Beauty page, please join us. We are going to kick off Pink Weekend Friday morning with a big posting party, and you are more than welcome to join us. Invite your customers to come on and join us. It's going to be super fun. If you have questions, reach out to me. We'd love to have you be a part of what we're doing. And then last but not least, you know, some of you have not been around Mary Kay for a little while. It's been a crazy busy year. And I just want to let you guys know that Mary Kay's really transitioned to help women and families during COVID by dropping the price of getting started, by subsidizing our shipping, and so many other things that we're doing right now. And so if you're thinking, maybe I need to pick up my Mary Kay a little bit more, or you know somebody who could use a little extra income, reach out to me. I'd love to fill you in on what Mary Kay is doing. But there's a lot of great things happening in our businesses right now. So I just want to thank all of you for coming on. It was great tips, you guys. You do a great job with videos, Scharlie. You really do. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you. Have a great Thanksgiving. God bless. Bye-bye.